So today we are going to discuss about fetus and pelvis. So we have discussed about the inlet, cavity, outlet. You should know how to hold the fetus. The fetal head, what is this? What is this hole? Foramen? Foramen magnum. Foramen magnum. Foramen magnum, if it is vertex presentation, that means this is the position. Okay, the head is the cephalic presentation, means the fetal head will be negotiating in labor. So this is the first position of engagement, that is left occiputo transverse with respect to the maternal pelvis. See the occiput, you have not studied about the pelvis. This is the occiput, this is the sinciput, this is the vertex, this is face, this is brow, and this is the occiput. So it is bounded by sutures, and we have the anterior fontanelle, posterior fontanelle, which is diamond shaped here. Few outlines I will give you. Today have an overview. Then you have to go into the details of each fetus and pelvis separately. But it doesn't work separately. It has to go together. So this is the lambdoid suture, and this is the anterior fontanelle, and we have the sinciput here, and the parietal prominence on the parietal bone, and occipital prominence on the occiput. This is the base of skull, that is the calvaria, and this is the face. Broadly 3 parts. So when you are asked to hold the fetal head, you have to hold it like this. This is very important. And if suppose I am holding it like this, what is the engaging diameter? Imagine the patient, this is the patient lying. Okay. So with respect to patient, what is the engagement diameter? Which is left, which is right? Men to portable. Men to bolte hobe na. Cephalic presentation. And vertex is the commonest presentation. Presenting part hoche on the cephalic presentation. So this is your right. This is the right of the patient. Imagine the patient anatomically. So if this is the patient and this is the right side, so the engaging diameter will be right occipito transverse. These several definitions will come in. I am not going to definitions today. That will confuse you right now. Try to understand the basic things. The fetus has to negotiate through this pelvis to come out into the world. So it has to engage, then it has to rotate. Internal rotation, then extension, then delivered. This is a not so small process like this. I am just trying to make it short and simple for the first day. Any idea about what is presentation? What is presenting part? Occupies the lower segment, and part occupying the internal os is the presenting part. So cephalic presentation is the commonest presentation, and vertex, the presenting part, is the commonest presenting part. Next common is cephalic, this is the commonest. Breech is 3%. Breech means the presenting part is the sacrum. This is the sacrum, is the presenting part. It is the arbitrary point on the fetal parts which comes in contact with different quadrants of the fetus pelvis, the maternal pelvis, during the course of labor. This is how we determine. It can be divided into 8 quadrants. Okay. So left occipital transverse, left occipital anterior, left occipital posterior, direct occipital anterior, direct occipital posterior. These are the positions. Try to understand. See, this is the fetal head. When it is engaging like this, that is left occipital. Occiput is the presenting part. Or occipital is occupying the transverse diameter. So left occipital transverse. Suppose that it is like this. Then it is left occipital anterior. Left occipital anterior. Now if it is like this is direct occipital anterior. Suppose it is like this, then right occipital anterior. Then this you have to understand. Then posterior. This direct occipital posterior. Again this posterior, left occipital transverse, left occipital anterior, again anterior. So these are the quadrants. See, I've explained all the quadrants with respect to occiput. This can happen with breech also. Breech is a bit difficult, we will discuss later. So we have to understand the anatomical landmarks of pelvic inlet. Okay, pubic symphysis, starting with the joint, then pubic tubercle, crest. This is the white line, iliopubic eminence, linea terminalis, sacroiliac joint, ala of sacrum, promontory. Again back. So this whole thing becomes the inlet. Inlet, cavity, outlet. So how we are going to measure these diameters to ensure whether the fetus will deliver safely or not? We have to do some measurements. How we do measurements? How? Diagonal conjugate, because that is the only accessible thing we can have. So we have to insert the two fingers, that is the index and the middle finger. This is through the lower border of the symphysis. When you do a pelvic examination, we do this measurement. We are trying to touch the sacral promontory. If we can touch, that means the sacral promontory is very prominent. That means the diameter is less. Here see, I cannot reach. At least with my fingers I cannot reach. A longer hand can perhaps. But how will I measure? We will take the measurement, whatever distance we can reach, put a mark here. Take out your fingers and then you measure from the tip of the middle finger to that mark. That is the diagonal conjugate. Diagonal conjugate you have to measure, you can measure it. Scale. Diagonal conjugate. Diagonal conjugate. Conjugate means this is the distance. It is a diagonal conjugate. We have discussed about three conjugates. True conjugate, that is the anatomical conjugate, obstetric conjugate, and the diagonal conjugate. Why of this clinically important is diagonal conjugate. We cannot measure. So how can I go inside the pelvis and measure this diameter? I cannot. I can only measure, this is the outlet, this is the subpubic angle. This is called the subpubic angle. This part is accessible. This part is accessible. This is the female genitalia. We are doing a pelvic examination through the introitus. So we can insert our fingers like this. Here we are putting the fingers inside, index and the middle finger, and we are measuring from the tip of middle finger to the point where it touches the lower border of the pubic symphysis. And this distance has to be measured. This is an oblique. See, I am measuring from here to here. It will be something. Anyone has give me the pen. This is like this. This is the distance. Not here. This is my longest finger. Your longest finger. If you can touch the sacral promontory, that is the target. But if the pelvis is adequate, we say adequate and inadequate pelvis. That means whether the baby will deliver or it will get obstructed, or we will have problems, or we have to do a cesarean section. All this is called when the pelvis is not adequate. When you learn the process of labor, it has three things: the power, the passage, and the passenger. Power is the uterine contraction, passage is the pelvic canal through which the fetus is passing during the course of labor, and passenger is the fetus. So if this diameter, usually it is around 12 centimeter. It is the longest anteroposterior diameter because we are taking a oblique diameter. Don't call it an oblique diameter. I'm just explaining. This is not a straight one. I'm measuring like this. So this will be the longest one. And this is important to us because the baby will pass through this diameter only. The obstetric conjugate is the most prominent body part on the posterior surface of the pubic symphysis to the tip of middle point of the sacral promontory. And the anatomical conjugate is the upper border of pubic symphysis to the tip of the sacral promontory. So all this I cannot measure unless you do pelvimetry. Previously ultrasound was not so available, so then skiograms, x-rays were done in lateral position. They used to do an x-ray and then find out this distance. This is not done nowadays. Either you do an ultrasound during labor, you can do where the station is. Station means where at the level of ischial spine, that is the zero station. The fetus has to, when the fetus is here, that means it is zero station. So we measure it in fifths, 5 parts. So if it is 0, that is the level of the ischial spine. If it is +1, it has gone through the ischial spine. Then +2, +3, it has gone down. And if it is -1, -2, that is above the internal os and above the ischial spine. These are all arbitrary points. We cannot measure it absolutely correctly. But this one you can measure. This one, you do the pelvic examination, then you measure this distance with a scale or tape. You can take a measurement. Clear? Okay. So the cavity is almost circular. Here all the diameters are almost same and it is almost equal to 12. 12, 12, 12. But then that is not the place where the fetus will stagnate. It has to come out. So the outlet here becomes more wider in the anteroposterior and less in the transverse diameter. Transverse diameter here is the ischial, the spine. This, if it is inward directed, this will cause a narrow transverse diameter. That can cause a problem during internal rotation. You will see the process when the fetus is engaging: engagement, descent, flexion, internal rotation, extension, external rotation, and then delivery like this. So it is going through a full rotation, and when you put the fetus inside totally, it is how the baby is engaging. This is left occipital, transverse. Then the fetus is moving through 1/8 of a circle, that is 45 degree. This is a whole circle. This pelvis is divided into 8 quadrants. So each quadrant is 45 degree. So if it is left occipital transverse, this has to negotiate through this short distance, that is another 45 degrees. Engagement, then descent, it is descending. Then flexion, it has to flex. Then internal rotation. Meanwhile, there is a twist in the neck. Then extension, external rotation, and delivery. Then the aftercoming shoulders. The anterior shoulder hinges under the lower margin of the pubic symphysis. Then the posterior shoulder, the trunk, the buttocks, and the fetus is delivered in totality. So this is the basic outline of fetus and the pelvis. Here we usually give you the fetal head, and you see the sutures, the lambdoid suture and the anterior fontanelle, posterior fontanelle, these are the landmarks where the two sutures are, junction of these two sutures is the fontanelle. It is important because this place it has a membranous covering. Why it is membranous? It doesn't ossify at birth. So there is slight development of the fetal brain till 2 years of age. So this space is there, and this is also clinically important because when the fetus is negotiating through the maternal pelvis, slight movement of the cranial bones are possible. This is called molding. So everything, if I say it together, it becomes difficult. You try to imagine it like a story. So these are flat bones, these are the junctions, and can you name the bones? You have done in anatomy. This is the frontal bone, parietal bone, occipital bone, and base is formed by, this is the base of the skull, and this is the calvaria, and this is the face. When we say vertex presentation is this. So here is the coronal suture, the lambdoid suture. This is like a lambdoid, and the arbitrary lines to the point of parietal prominence, maximum prominence of the parietal bones. So this portion is the vertex. If you are asked to show the vertex, usually this will be the vertex that you can show. And occiput is the prominent part on the occipital pole and the frontal pole and occipital pole. This is the most prominent part on the occipital bone. We take this as the denominator, which comes in contact with different quadrants of the maternal pelvis during the course of labor. It's an arbitrary point taken on the presenting part which comes in contact with different, this occiput is coming. We are always mentioning the occiput during the LOA, LOP, OA, OP, ROA, ROP. Okay, so this is the denominator. And in case of breech, it is the, what is the denominator? Sacrum. Then we have face presentation, brow presentation, and mentum. These are all not very common presentations. The commonest presentation is cephalic presentations. You will be asked basically on cephalic presentation. Any question that you want to clarify? This is the first class. Second class, we will go into the details of the diameters, plane of least pelvic dimension, greatest pelvic dimensions. This is how it is measured. Posterior sagittal diameter. So if I say all those diameters together, it is difficult. You try to understand that this has to negotiate through this posterior sagittal diameter, this transverse diameter, and the distance between the transverse diameter and one point from the sacrum to that. This part, posterior half, this is the posterior sagittal diameter. This part is important because the occiput negotiates through that. It has to rotate through, this distance is important. So these diameters will come later on. Plane of least pelvic dimension is important because that is the least diameter that the fetus has to pass through. If it is the greatest pelvic dimension, it will not cause the problem. It will through the least pelvic dimension, which will cause problem in the passage. Right? All okay? Now you ask if you have to hold it in anatomical. This is a must, an inlet, anatomical inlet, the landmarks, we have to be clear about it. Diagonal conjugate will be asked, and you will be asked to show the, say, left occipital, show me the left occipital transverse. Hold the fetus pelvis the way I have told you. Hold it on one hand and you demonstrate, keep another hand free to, how will you hold? Left occipital transverse. Which is the left? First hold the pelvis anatomically. Not there, hold it on the side. Put your finger in the obturator foramen. Incline the pelvis. Yes. This is the first step. Don't make mistake on that. Now hold it. Left transverse. And left occipital anterior. Halfway. It will occupy that oblique diameter. Oblique diameter starts from the sacroiliac joint to the opposite iliopubic eminence. That is the oblique diameter. We have discussed the anteroposterior, transverse. This is the oblique diameter. Okay, you can pass it around. If you have to handle it, you have to know how to position it anatomically and show the landmarks accordingly. দেখাবে কি ROT দেখাও ROT break it up ROT it's like mathematics, so if you are interested in maths a little bit you can understand this. Right, which is the right of the patient. See, when you are handling it, imagine yourself to be the patient. Your sides will be all right. So it is right transverse and right occipito-posterior and engagement. Suppose this is engaged, so you have to show a little, push it down. Engagement is, it has passed the largest diameter of the fetal head has passed through the pelvic inlet. That is engagement. That means the biparietal diameter, this is the largest diameter. This is around 9.5 centimeters. Okay, so the pelvic, the outlet should be able to allow this to deliver 9.5 centimeters. That is the largest transverse diameter of the fetal head. That is why if the fetus is flexed, see, the vertex comes in place. If it is extended, then this becomes a larger diameter at the vulval outlet. That means it is, see, the more the flexion, lesser diameter is in negotiating the pelvic, the outlet. That is why the flexion is important. বুঝলে না আচ্ছা মানে fetus is staying in a, this is a fetal position. Fetus doesn't, in utero, it is in a flexed position. This is the attitude. Attitude is the relationship, the posture adopted by the fetus in utero. And it is the relative position of the different parts to each other. This is the flex posture. And when the fetal pelvis down, flex means, see, if the flexion you cannot understand. If the fetus is flexed, suppose it is engaged in left occipital transverse. Now engagement, descent, flexion, then internal rotation. See, if it is flexed, it will distend a smaller diameter. If it is extended, see, the larger diameter is extended. This may not get the space properly. So more the flexion, the better the chance of a normal delivery. This is flexion. Flexion বুঝলে? হ্যাঁ যে মাথাটা দেখো না, the more flexed here, the vertex is the presenting part. But if it is extended, see, it is gradually getting the frontal diameter, occipital, suboccipitobregmatic is the diameter. এবার এগুলো বললে মুশকিল এখন. Suboccipitobregmatic is the diameter of engagement of the fetal head. Suboccipitobregmatic. This is bregma, that is lambda, that's anterior and posterior frontally. So this is the suboccipitobregmatic diameter. And if it is not flexed, flexed means fetus is flexion, flexion is this, looking down, and extension is looking up. So more the extension, see the larger diameter is getting at the outlet. They have put a wider diamond shape, this the anterior fortunately is not so large, this disproportionately large in this this fetus, but it is smaller than that, so, but it is diamond shaped. With this, you can find out when you are doing a pelvic examination, how will you know which is the occiput, which is the lambda? You cannot make out. You will have to identify the fontanelle. If you can identify, say, when you are doing a pelvic examination, and suppose this is the fetus is in this position, say, right occipito, like this, anterior, okay, and if there is flexion. Flexion means this is moving up, okay, and if it is extension, see, it is gradually the vertex to brow, face, see, then extension means mentum. Here mentum becomes the presenting part, the denominator. So the full extension, see. So the suboccipitobregmatic, this diameter was the least diameter. Biparietal is 9.5 and suboccipitofrontal bregmatic, this diameter is the least, this circumference is the least. The more the extension, then the brow becomes becomes the denominator. See, the diameter increases. More extension, further extension. A complete extension, it becomes face or this mentovertical is the largest diameter, mentovertical, from here to vertex, that is the highest point on the sagittal suture. So this becomes the largest diameter. The baby cannot negotiate if this is the position, extended position. So suboccipitobregmatic, suboccipitofrontal, occipitofrontal, then we have the mentovertical, submentovertical. So these are the diameters on the fetal head that we can discuss in the next class. But remember, vertex, occiput, anterior fontanelle, posterior fontanelle, the broad sutures, the coronal, sagittal, lambdoid, that is the Tyrian, Asterian, these are the two other junctional points. This is not so important for you, but these two you have to remember. And you can get short notes on this fontanelles also. What is the important? So when we are doing a pelvic examination, if you can identify the occiput, you will trace your fingers and you will see a Y shape it. So that becomes the occiput. This is the occiput. You can make out which position the fetus is. We were saying left occipital anterior. So if you are doing a pelvic examination and you can feel this part, this, how will you feel? You have to trace the sutures. You can feel it. In our head, you cannot feel. In the fetal head, you will be able to feel this line. Then only you can say this is the occiput. Otherwise, this and this will appear same. So this is the importance of identifying the position. This is the position. The left occipital anterior, this is a position. That is, the denominator is coming in contact with the different quadrants. This is how we express. Okay. So this will run into the next class, but orient yourself. So the fetus has the anteroposterior and the circumferential diameter and the transverse diameter. So also for the pelvis. So So this has to negotiate through this hole. So it has to be compatible. If it cannot negotiate, then what will happen? Suppose it is a deep transverse arrest. That means it has not gone down below anymore. The largest diameter, this is the deep transverse arrest, it has engaged itself. There is no further descent, flexion, internal rotation, nothing is been present. So it is arrested. You have to deliver, either you have to do some maneuver to rotate it if it is possible, or you have to do an abdominal delivery, that is cesarean section, to take off the baby. Or you can rotate and apply forceps. Difficult. Manual rotation. Instrument, nowadays we don't do it. Forceps, the rotation. There was once upon a time when we could do it. But nowadays a safer option is a cesarean section. Why should you take such instrumental deliveries? May cause harm to the fetus as well as the, okay, so if it is deep transverse arrest, we will go for section today's time. We will not allow that traumatic delivery. If you do not have provision for cesarean, then we used to do so many things so that we allow this vaginal delivery through forceps. Then forceps is another class. Just try to have an overview, the pelvis, fetus, and we can take over again in the next class with the particular diameters. Anteroposterior diameter, transverse diameter, posterior sagittal diameter, plane of least pelvic dimension, greatest pelvic dimensions, oblique diameters. The cavity is almost circle. Cavity is the middle part. Inlet, cavity and outlet. 3 parts. Cavity is almost circular, but the fetus will not get out from that part. It has to negotiate through the least anteroposterior. See that this is the least. That is why the coccyx can be moved back so that some space we get when the fetus is in the direct occipital anterior position. It has rotated. Now it needs the most longest anteroposterior diameter to negotiate through this. So much for today, I think. If you cram in too much, you cannot keep it in mind. Go through the text today itself, so that next week I think Dr. Jana can take up, or if you want, we can continue. He was supposed to take today's class, so he couldn't because his mother is too sick, he had to leave. Dhukchanai, maybe this fetus is not meant for this mother. This is called cephalopelvic disproportion, CPD. Then here is manual rotation and application of forceps, and if you want to take it out vaginally, or you take out the baby, do a section and take out the baby through the abdominal delivery. You want to ask, you want to practice, you can do it. Pelvis, you just have the knack of handling it, how to hold it in anatomical position. See the anatomical landmarks that we have described. And keep your another hand free. Examiner, whatever the examiner is telling you to do or show, you keep your hands free to show. Don't let the examiner do that for you. That doesn't look proper. Don't let the pelvis to be held by someone else. You have to hold it. You have to show it smartly. Okay. Pass it on so that you can have an idea about the anatomical position. This is very important. First question they will ask you, hold it anatomically. Kiriti esche? Attendance niyeche? Ki? Na kichu mane porate bolcho? Na kichu bujhte paroni? Whatever. Speak it loud. It will be beneficial for everyone. Whatever queries you have can be shared. What is this? Placenta. We have classes on that also. After the delivery, placental delivery, how to deliver, first stage, second stage of labor, third stage of labor. That is important. See the least diameter is extending. Diameter, it is a circle. It will have a anteroposterior and transverse diameter. It's more or less a circle. So engaging diameter, the more the flexion, the least diameter is getting out of the pelvis. So it is better chance of a good normal delivery. না ওটা সাব-অক্সিপিটো we measure this vertex এ হচ্ছে সাব-অক্সিপিটো ব্রেগম্যাটিক সাব-অক্সিপিটো মানে below the occiput up to the bregma. Bregma means the anterior fontanelle.
ফ্লেক্সড হয়ে গেলে
This is the flexed.
আচ্ছা আর যদি হয়
Extension হলে এই occipito frontal, then sub-occipito frontal,
এইটা অনেকটা বেশি
এইগুলো বেড়ে যাচ্ছে কি. This is the diameter. It is a three-dimensional structure and we are measuring in a two-dimensional way. Geometry. Have done geometry in your class 11-12. This is geometry. Vertex দেখাতে বলবে, face দেখাতে বলতে পারে. They will tell you to show it on the fetus. This is a model of a fetus. There we have the sutures and the fontanelles marked. So they will tell you to show that. এই কৃতিকে ডাকো। ওটা ঠিক আছে। এটা হচ্ছে for delivery, just negotiate করতে। হ্যাঁ, না এটা full fetus is there. This is the flexed attitude. This is how the fetus is in the womb. And this is the, you have to hold it like this. Don't let the placenta dangle. Placenta is inside. And if it is breech, it is like this. Sacrum is the denominator. It is an arbitrary point taken for convenience sake on the presenting part, which is coming in contact with different quadrants of the maternal quadrants during the course of labor. A definition, you have to say it when asked.